What makes a man rise from a starving outcast to ruling the largest land empire the world has ever seen? It wasn't just power, it was wisdom. Genghis Khan lived by principles that most people today forgot. But if you understand them, you'll understand why he changed the world. Here are the three core beliefs that made him not only feared but deeply respected. Genghis didn't judge a man by his tribe, his blood, or his name. He judged them by what they did. In the secret history of the Mongols, Temujin constantly went against tradition by choosing talent over bloodline. One of the most powerful examples is when he welcomed Jelme, a stranger, into his camp after Jelme helped him recover from a deadly wound. Jelme wasn't from Temujin's tribe, he was from a rival one. But what mattered to Temujin was not where Jelme came from, but what he chose to do. Loyalty, courage, action. Another powerful story is with Jebe, the warrior who actually shot Chinggis in the neck during battle. After the war, Jebe came forward and admitted it, saying, "It was I who shot you, but I did so as a warrior, not as your enemy. Let me serve you now with the same strength." What did Chinggis do? He not only spared him, but made him a general. Jebe became one of his most trusted commanders. Temujin believed, "You are what you do, not what you're born into." That's why he took people from his enemies and turned them into brothers. This wasn't softness, it was genius. He saw value where others only saw labels. To Chinggis, honesty wasn't about polite words. It was about truth in action. Temujin lived in a time when betrayal was common, alliances were fragile, and power shifted fast. But he stood out because he meant what he said. In the secret history, there's a recurring theme. Words must match deeds. If you promise to protect someone, you protect them. If you promise revenge, you carry it out. Look at his bond with Borch, a boy who returned Temujin's stolen horses when they were young. Temujin promised him protection, and decades later, even when Temujin was emperor, Borch stood beside him in battle. And Temujin kept his promise. No favoritism, no lies, just loyalty built on truth. On the flip side, those who broke their word to Chinggis didn't get second chances. The Tatar leaders, who broke multiple agreements, were wiped out. Not because Chinggis was cruel, but because he believed the man who doesn't respect his own word is nothing. Even animals follow their instincts, Temujin once said. But humans, they have words. If words mean nothing, they're worse than beasts. In today's world, we're flooded with empty words, online promises, fake apologies, surface-level loyalty. Chinggis Khan reminds us, your truth is not what you say, it's what you do consistently. Chinggis didn't just look at how someone treated him, he looked at how they treated the weak. This is subtle, but one of the most telling principles in the secret history. Chinggis often observed his men not in war, but in peace. He watched how they spoke to servants, how they treated their mothers, how they approached fellow soldiers. To him, true character is revealed when no one is watching. Take Altang and Kochar, noble-born warriors who appeared loyal but treated others cruelly. When Chinggis saw this, he didn't say much. He remembered. Later, he chose not to give them leadership roles. Not because they disrespected him, but because they lacked humility and fairness to others. In contrast, people like Mokoli gained Chinggis' full trust not just for bravery, but because they were fair to the lowest ranking soldier. Mokoli was promoted not because he fought hard, Because he led justly. A man who bows only to me is not loyal, Chinggis believed. A man who lifts others up when I'm not looking, that's a man I trust. This principle speaks to emotional intelligence centuries before the term existed. Leadership isn't just about control, it's about empathy, justice, and watching the smallest behaviors. Genghis Khan wasn't a man of many words. In fact, he often said nothing at all. He wasn't the type to confront someone directly when they did wrong. He didn't call them out in front of others, he just watched. He evaluated quietly. He stored what he saw and used the knowledge when the time came. The falcon strikes only after long silence, he once said. In today's noisy world, where people talk more than they listen, Genghis shows us the power of silent observation. He teaches us, speak when necessary, let actions reveal truth, and always evaluate people based on who they really are, not how they perform for you. So, what made Genghis Khan the most powerful human alive? It wasn't just armies, it was principles, clear, brutal, and timeless. Judge by actions, match word with deed, and see people for how they treat others, not just you. And most of all, watch, quietly. Let people reveal themselves, just like the Khan did. If more people lived by these ideas today, maybe we'd see fewer masks and more true creativeness.